On April 25, 2015, Troy University inducted 8 new members into the Troy Sports Hall of Fame. As this 4th class is welcomed into the hall, the new inductees join 27 previous honorees, all immortalized now as the men and women who made Troy sports history. Truly the best of the best, those who built the legacy of championship sports that represents Troy University.
My name is Barry McKnight. I'm the radio play-by-play voice at Troy University, and on behalf of Troy and everybody associated with this event, I'd like to say welcome, and to each of the members of our incoming class in the Hall of Fame, I'd like to say welcome back. We are here to celebrate the accomplishments and contributions of some of Troy's finest on the athletic field and off. And towards that end, to issue an official welcome, we begin first with the Director of Athletics at Troy University, Mr. John Hartwell.
Good evening, and to echo what Barry said there, welcome to a tremendous evening in Troy University and Troy athletics history. And you know, in reflecting on what today and tonight means, we're very fortunate because in today's setting, this is the culmination of 3 things we've gotten to do. First off, this morning, we got the pleasure of being able to watch our T-Day game and watch the future of Troy football, which is very, very bright. We're very excited about that. Then some of you had the opportunity to go over to our baseball stadium to witness a 10-4 victory over conference foe Texas State, which certainly is about the presence, and we're excited about our baseball team, 12-8 in the league now, and getting hot just at the right time, because here in about 3 weeks' time, we host the Sun Belt Conference baseball tournament, May 20th through 24th. We hope many of you come back for that, to allow just another opportunity for one of our teams to advance to NCAA play, and we're very excited. I won't steal Dr. Hawkins' thunder because I know he wants to talk a little bit about that, but we've had a tremendous week, a tremendous spring in Troy athletics. We're very excited about it, so the present is very good as well. So we've seen the future, we've talked a little bit about the present, and certainly tonight we're here to honor the history, and certainly these 8 individuals being inducted tonight, their resumes speak for themselves. Not only have they been tremendous Trojans when they were here in the classroom, on the fields of play, as administrators, but you look at what they've done since they left here, and one thing they've never forgotten is that Trojan spirit. And we're so excited that the Trojan spirit is not only alive and well today, but growing every day. And we're excited about that and glad to have y'all as a part of it. Welcome and enjoy your evening.
Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. We present Sheila Jackson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now, before we get seated, let's pause here for an invocation. Troy University Team Chaplain, Mr. Lonnie Cochran.
Let us pray together. Father, we are so grateful for tonight. We thank you for the great things that you've done here on this campus and in the lives of these men and women that's going to be recognized tonight. You're an excellent God, and we recognize that. We thank you that what you have in store for us in the future is great things, and in many ways, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and perhaps it's not entered in our minds what great things you're going to do here at Troy. But we thank you, Lord, in great anticipation we prepare ourselves for the great things that you're going to do. We pray that you would bless our time here together tonight. Help us to maximize these moments. Help us as we communicate. Help us to make great meaning together and create lasting relationships that would transcend time into eternity. We thank you, Lord. Bless us tonight. We ask that you would certainly bless the food that we are about to receive. We ask that it would be nourishment for our bodies as we give our bodies to your service, that we can serve you greater. We thank you for everything that you do for us. Amen.
We'd like to continue by acknowledging those individuals important to Troy University for all that she does. Thank you to the First Lady of Troy University, Janice Hawkins. Also, I'd like to thank our Board of Trustees for their continued support and leadership at Troy University. President Pro Tem Gerald Dial, Mrs. Karen Carter, Dr. Doug Hawkins, Charles Nayland, General Ed Crowell, and Mr. Alan Owen. For those of you who were here last year, it was a spectacular event. It always is. We inducted 8 members into the Hall of Fame class of 2014. The 8 inductees were Danny Cox, Mike Griffin, Harry Griggs, Ted Horsted, Anthony Reed, Rick Rhodes, O.C. Umanyora, and Paul Word. Would the class of 2014, 2013, and 2012 please stand and be recognized? Also, I'd like to recognize and thank our Platinum corporate sponsors. Thank you to the City of Troy, the Councilman and Mayor Reeves. Thank you to Troy Bank and Trust and Jeff Curvin and Marcus Calloway with Calloway Title Insurance for their sponsorships. Thank you very much. At this time, I'll turn it over to Mr. Earl Johnson to say a few words on behalf of the Hall of Fame Board of Advisors.
Thank you, Barry. It is my pleasure to introduce a group of people with whom I have worked for the last 4 years with our Troy University Sports Hall of Fame, a great group of people. I'm going to call their names, and I'm not going to ask you to stand, but just wave and be recognized and hold your applause to the end. Of course, our leader, Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr., Alan Owens, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Athletics Committee, John Hartwell, our Athletic Director, Ron Davis, myself, Dr. Ken Blankenship, William Thigpen, Keith Black, Roy Crawford, Benny Beard, Rick Maxey, Melanie Garner, Jeff Coleman, Sim Bird, Stacy Fashion, Tommy Hicks, Barry McKnight, Andy Britton, and Doug Mims. This is a great group of people who have served on the advisory committee. Thank you so very much for great work. Thank you.
The Honorable Gerald O. Dial, the President of the Board of Trustees, will bring forward a few words from the board.
Thank you, Barry. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it's a great honor for me to be here tonight and to welcome you. First, let me tell you what a great honor it is to serve with this great Board of Trustees and with Jack Hawkins as our Chancellor. There are terrific things going on here at Troy, and if you're not aware of them, you need to be, because we're extremely proud of the progress that we're making at Troy University. Tonight, as we honor 8 inductees, I want to thank the committee for their selection. You know, I've just spent a tough week in the legislature where we have a very difficult time of agreeing on anything. So it's great to be among a group of people who agree on one thing, and that one thing is that these 8 inductees deserve to be here tonight. I've said it before, but Troy exists for academics. But winning athletics is the one key element that binds us all together. The students, the faculty, the staff, the trustees, the alumni, and all of our friends. It is athletics that brings us here tonight, and we're grateful to be here. So to these inductees, I say congratulations to you, God bless you, and continue to go Trojans. Go Trojans!
Now with pride, we bring forth Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr., the Chancellor of Troy University.
Thank you, Barry, and thank you for your continued good work as the voice of our Trojans. We really appreciate you, and thanks to each of you. This event, I think, proves that nothing great ever occurs without great leadership. I want to thank Senator Dial and the Board of Trustees, Ms. Carter and the Foundation Board of Directors, Dr. Bob Booth and all those associated on our board of the National Alumni Association, and certainly the Mayor Earl Johnson and the Board of Advisors of our Hall of Fame. You've done great work. I'd be remiss, too, if I didn't say to John and Heather Hartwell, thank you. You know, they have brought a sense of energy and love to this university that just inspires me daily, and Heather's hand is all over this function tonight. And so to the staff and to John and to Heather, thank you. And I'm going to ask Heather to stand up and let us say thank you. Thank you, John, and all the great Trojans who worked to make this event what it is. You know, the common thread in all of these inductees and the three classes before has been leadership, great leadership. Great leadership when they were student athletes that produced winning teams that brought national conference and district titles to this university. And it's leadership, I think, that has continued to make a difference in this athletics program. I want to thank all those inductees who were recognized earlier and the new inductees for what they've meant to this institution. And not only from an athletic perspective, but also to Robert Earl Stewart, because Robert Earl, I think, has served about 48 years on our faculty. You know, this is a great time to be a Trojan. I can personally say that we've never had better students. Our faculty and staff has never been better. We're working hard to make sure that we have the most beautiful campuses in this state. And soon some of you athletes, I know, lived in Alumni Hall. We prayed over that building when we took it down. We'll soon replace it with a beautiful new facility that will be a high-tech center that will be the place, I think, in this state, if you're interested in technology, to live. It's a beautiful new spot on campus. I hope you'll have a chance to see it before you leave. A few months ago, we were thrilled to open the new John M. Long building for fine arts, which I think is second to none. This arena, we're very proud of, has won 2 national awards for design. And I think it's certainly by far the best place, John, in the Sun Belt Conference to compete. But we're adding other facilities. If you go down to the corner of Elm Street and George Wallace Drive, you'll see a new golf facility that will support the great golf teams that we have here. We've rebuilt our softball complex. We've just recently renovated much of the Davis Fieldhouse, and we also are fully aware that the missing piece at this point is the north end zone. We are making our plans to break ground in the not too distant future as we put the financial package together. So just be patient, and that will happen. But it's a great time to be a Trojan sports fan, and I'm so proud of our student athletes. And I want you to know that our student athletes have a GPA higher than the student body of this institution. And so they're working hard not only to be great athletes, but also to be great students. In the coming days, we'll know where our championship women's golf team that has won now 2 straight Sun Belt Conference titles will go to the regionals again. Our men's golf team, we expect to go to the regionals this year after another great year. Our men's tennis team won the Sun Belt Championship just a few days ago and will go to the regionals. Our softball program is certainly on the rise, recently having beaten nationally ranked Florida State University and the University of Louisiana Lafayette. Baseball, we celebrated, and fortunately Ms. Riddle was able to be with us, and she was the first on the field when Coach Bobby Pierce broke Coach Riddle's record in wins for Troy University. Women's basketball continues to be elevated. In fact, this was only the 4th time in the history of women's basketball that we had a 20-win season. And I really believe that the best is yet to happen there. And then, of course, we're very excited that Neil Brown has succeeded a great, great legend in Larry Blakeney. And I know the best is yet to come with Neil at the helm. Thank you, Neil, for taking over. And thank you, Coach Blakeney, for your great leadership over these years. And I think before I conclude, I wanted you to know that I believe that the Sun Belt Conference truly is doing well, and under the leadership of Commissioner Carl Benson, thanks to Dr. Ken Blankenship and to Johnny Williams, we saw the development of the Camellia Bowl, which was the 3rd bowl in which Sun Belt teams will compete. This next year, we add a fourth bowl to that in the Cure Bowl in Orlando. And so we continue to build a strong conference that will be a good home for Troy University. But none of these things that I've mentioned could happen if all of us didn't stand on the shoulders of all those who have come before us, particularly those inductees who have been recognized in the three classes before and in this class. And so to all of those great athletes, thank you. Thank you for your love of Troy University and your commitment. And thanks to the families. Congratulations to all, and thanks to all of you for your continued support of this very special and great university. Thank you so much, and God bless.
At this time, we'll begin the induction ceremony for the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2015. Will James Beatty please stand? A five-time NCAA and NAIA All-American from 1970 to 1973, James Beatty set Troy records the moment he set foot on campus. Rated as the sixth fastest runner in the nation by Runner's World, Beatty held school records in the 50, 60, 100, and 200-yard dashes, in addition to being a member of 3 different school record relay teams. A member of the U.S. Olympic training team, Beatty finished just 1/10 of a second off of the world record in the 50-yard dash in high school. The native of Columbus, Georgia, would improve his 50-yard time during his freshman campaign as he tied the world record with a time of 5.1 seconds. Beatty helped lead Troy to Alabama Collegiate Conference and NAIA District 27 championships. As a freshman, Beatty finished second in the 100-yard dash at the NAIA National Meet and finished second in the 60-yard dash at the NAIA Indoor National Meet. He would go on to claim several other top 5 national finishes in the 60 and 100-yard dashes over the course of his illustrious career.
Well, I feel at home around here. I had a lot of relatives, and school was real good to me. And a lot of things that problems they have now, we didn't have them back then. In a way, I think things probably were a little better. Like I said, I watched it change. Like, we was only a few black students around then. And like I said, Doc Anderson was real good. I really admired him because he stuck with me. On Sunday evenings, the chow hall wouldn't be open. We had to get our change together and buy evening dinner on Sunday out of the machine. So if you didn't have any change, you would you could sell your change, and somebody come and say, hey, I got a $5 bill, let me have $1 worth of change, just to get to eat. They didn't have all the eating places they have now. One of my favorite moments would be, it was over in Selma when I ran my first 300-yard dash, 9.3. And another time was down in Mobile. You know, I had got an excellent start, and I beat everybody out of the blocks. And the time in that 50-yard dash was 5 seconds flat. And the reason I know it was 5 seconds flat, that's the best start. I usually kind of hesitate coming out of the block, but I didn't hesitate. And so I knew I was way out in front of everybody else. And so I always remember that. And I can remember another time was at Florida Relays, my freshman year. And they had me in baton at Florida Relays, and I don't know how fast I could have ran that time, but they had me bring the baton. And I came from last place, I was way out front and just run down the startway. And I felt like I could just run away. That's the best I ever felt on the track. And I really thank Coach Sam Roberts. That was my high school track coach. He was the greatest. I just want to tell them all, thanks for having faith in me and helping me to keep the faith. Because if you don't have faith, you don't have anything. A lot of times, you won't get somewhere, but as long as you got that faith, it will keep you going.
Beatty and his family on being inducted into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame class of 2015. Will Ronnie Mobley please stand? The first student athlete to receive a golf scholarship at Troy, Ronnie Mobley did not disappoint as he went on to become a four-time NCAA Division II All-American and helped lead the Trojans to back-to-back NCAA Division II national championships in 1976 and 1977. Mobley, a native of Brundage, Alabama, won a remarkable 18 tournaments during his Troy career before going on to play on the PGA Tour for 2 years. The 1977 Alabama State Amateur Champion, Mobley won 7 tournaments as a freshman during the 1973-74 season and was inducted into the Wiregrass Sports Hall of Fame in 2007. The first all-Gulf South selection in Troy history, Mobley coached the Troy men's team for 2 seasons in 1985 and 1986 and earned Gulf South Coach of the Year honors both years. A 3-time all-Gulf South selection, Mobley held 5 Troy school records when he took over as head coach, including single-season stroke average 71.5.
Troy, when I first came to Troy, it meant golf. Today it means life to me because some of my fondest memories in my life are right here on this campus. And you know, when I ride around and look at it today and compare it to what it was back in the 70s, I am just so proud and so thankful to have been a part of it. When I left Troy, I went on to play professional golf. And the 4 years on the golf team here prepared me for that. Then I played for a number of years as a professional golfer, and I still teach golf now. I actually teach, I'm afforded the opportunity to teach several of the players on the Troy men's and women's team now. The tournament that we won during my junior year when we beat Alabama and Auburn pretty handily at the Alabama Intercollegiate, and we took Coach Griffin, we drug him down the first fairway and threw him in the muddiest pond you've ever seen. President Adams decided that he wanted a golf team. We already had a golf team, and please don't take this the wrong way, but he got behind the golf team. And then as Robert Earl was saying earlier when we were chatting, he sort of got behind the golf team, and not didn't sort of, he did get behind the golf team. And it just, and the business people in Troy, we didn't have a very large budget the first few years, and they actually, people like Mr. Charlie Noneman and Nick Severa and Mr. Dick Bush, they actually funded the golf team to a large extent. We had the opportunity to go play all over the country, to play at the Air Force Academy and the Naval Academy, and just tournaments all over the country. And you know, then Mr. Fred Davis on the athletic policy committee, he kept us in line and made sure we were doing what we were supposed to be doing. And then Coach Griffin was just you could not ask for a better person to coach you. My mom and dad afforded me the opportunity to play golf, and they allowed me to spend the time playing golf. The people that I want to thank most are my teammates in those 4 years, and there were lots of them. But we all became the golfers, and to a certain degree, the people that we are today because of how we work collectively together. I would not take anything for the time that I spent in Troy and the people that I met and the successes we had and we enjoyed together. And then to have this on top of that, it just literally is something that it's hard to put into words. It's hard to put into words. I can't wait to put that Hall of Fame ring right by those 2 national championship rings and look at those in years to come and just say thank you to God for the path that He put me on.
Congratulations to Ronnie Mobley and his family on being inducted into the Troy University Hall of Fame. Will Kathy Russell please stand? The all-time leading rebounder in Troy history, Kathy Russell earned All-America honors and helped lead the Trojans to the 1981 AIAW State Championship. A native of Chicago, Illinois, Russell finished her career with 1,325 rebounds, which was one more than teammate and Troy Sports Hall of Fame member Denise Monroe. Russell's tally has stood the test of time. The closest any other player has come to breaking the record was Angela Moore with 1,000 career rebounds. Russell, who was a 2-time All-AIAW Conference selection, ranks 7th all-time in Troy history with 1,521 career points and has made the 9th most free throws in Troy history. She set the Troy single-season rebounding record with 394 in the 1979-80 season. In fact, all 4 of her single-season rebounding totals rank among the top 10 in school history. Russell went on to play semi-pro ball in the VASBA from 1987 to 1993 before beginning a successful coaching career.
A good friend of the family's attended Troy. He was a student athlete here on the track team. He was visiting Chicago, and he came and attended one of my high school basketball games, and he said, "You need to come to Troy State." I said, "Where?" "Troy State." I said, "Okay." He said, "Let me make a phone call." So one thing led to another, and I ended up at Troy. Troy was a blessing to me. When I think about Troy, Troy was sent to me, I was sent to Troy. Coach Farrell was just astronomical. I came from Chicago, Illinois. I came a long way from home. So, my parents trusted Coach Farrell to take care of me, and she did just that. I mean, she fell short in no area. As a mentor, as a coach, as a friend, Coach Farrell is by far, bar none, the most influential person here on this campus. Martha Shipman Jackson, Renee Burrows C., her husband Virgil C. is being inducted also. When I came down for my official visit, Coach Farrell put me under their watch. That was a tough job, but they managed to do it. They showed me a great time. We continued our friendship on through my years here as a student athlete. Kim Davis, she was on the newspaper staff. She wrote some great articles about me. And she was also an RA in the dorm, so she always made sure I had the best room in the dorm, with the, best roommate, things like that. Bubba Williams, great friend of mine, still a friend of mine today. So those people are still lifetime friends of mine, and I wouldn't trade them or the experiences that we had here at Troy. I can't thank my parents enough for allowing me to come to Troy, because that was a big concern for them also. They were very influential in my life all along. as a child, as an adult. And they were always very supportive of the things that I ventured out to do, which, like here coming to Troy to school. Always let me know how proud they were of me, always expecting the best for me. I played a lot of street ball. In Chicago, you just go out and you play, and you play hard and you just hope for the best. But I did have two cousins that would take me to the park with them, and they would say, "She's on my team." They take me and say, "I don't want to hear it. She's playing with me." So that was my cousin Michael and my other cousin Leon. They took me everywhere they went, and they said, "She's on our team. You have a problem with that?" So that was a good experience for me to be able to play with guys, and that enhanced my game. So when I played with the ladies, I was way above their level. I thank my family again for being so supportive. I love them dearly, and I couldn't ask for a better family. You don't choose your family. You only choose your friends. So I've been blessed again with a great family.
Congratulations to Kathy Russell on being inducted into the Hall of Fame class of 2015. Virgil C., please stand. One of the most dynamic players in Troy history, Virgil C. parlayed an outstanding collegiate career into a pair of Super Bowl appearances with the Washington Redskins. C holds the Troy career record as he averaged 16.66 yards per punt return over his 2-year career. The native of Moultrie, Georgia, returned 47 punts for 783 yards and 5 touchdowns for the Trojans. His 5 touchdowns are the second most in Troy history, behind only Leotis McKelvin's 7 punt return touchdowns. C ranks 4th all-time in punt return yards, despite ranking 8th in punt return attempts. He finished 2nd nationally in 1979 when he averaged 18.28 yards per punt return, a mark that still ranks as the 3rd highest in Troy history. C returned 3 punts for a touchdown that season, which is tied with McKelvin and Troy Sports Hall of Fame member Perry Griggs for the school record. A talented receiver as well for the Trojans, C is 9th all-time with his 19.74 yards per catch average. He finished his NFL career with 43 receptions for 792 yards and 5 touchdowns. C founded and manages the Virgil C. Sports and Activities Summer Camp.
Troy means a lot to me, more so than a lot of people know. I met my wife at Troy State University. I was fortunate enough to be drafted by the Denver Broncos from Troy State University. I received my degree from Troy State University. One of the fondest memories I had was we went up to Livingston University in Alabama, and our special teams did one of the phenomenal jobs of allowing me to be the return person and return 3 punt returns for touchdowns in that one game. I really want to thank Coach Chan Gailey for coming to East Mississippi Junior College to recruit me to come to Troy to play. Because if that had not happened, I have no idea where things would have gone. The first person that I remember was Eddie Phillips, one of our linemen. Great guy, still one of my friends as of today. You can never thank your parents enough for the guidance that they have instilled in you. I'd like to thank my entire family for all the support that they have given me. My hometown of Moultrie, Georgia. I tell you, they say that it takes a village to raise a kid, I can honestly say that the things that my hometown of Moultrie, Georgia did, and the people that are there, they helped raise me. I have two really, really close friends that were in my hometown, and that's Roy Bridges and Al Sampson. Those two guys, I tell you, we grew up together playing football, basketball, and all these other sports and things. But I tell you, those guys helped keep me grounded. My family consists of my wife Renee, who we have this April will be 31 years of marriage, and she is responsible for a lot of things that I have achieved through basically my degree, because she would come and help me study for some of the things that I had difficulties with, and she did a great job, because that's one of the reasons I have my degree. My first daughter, Megan, I call her firstborn. Well, she is the firstborn. I made a lot of mistakes with her, not allowing her to do something. Then came along my second daughter, Zoe. I call her Zozo. Zoe was, she was able to do a few more things than Megan was able to do. Without the strong foundation that my hometown, my parents, my friends, my relatives, Troy, without those type things, I may not be sitting up here receiving this award.
Congratulations to Virgil C. on being inducted into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame class of 2015. Shelley, please stand. One of the most feared defensive backs of his time, Ronnie Shelley still holds Troy's single-season and career records for interceptions. A key piece of Troy's 1968 NAIA National Championship team, Shelley earned All-America honors after intercepting 15 passes during the 1968 season, including a single-game record 3 against North Alabama. He broke his own school record that season as he established a new single-season mark with 8 interceptions the prior year. Shelley finished his career with 36 interceptions, which is almost double that of the next closest player's tally, Derek Ansley, who had 19. The Headland, Alabama native returned 29 of the interceptions for a school record 492 yards and was inducted into the Wiregrass Hall of Fame in 2003. Shelley went on to be a successful coach on the collegiate and high school levels. He led Southeastern Louisiana to an NCAA baseball regional, Ashford Academy to several basketball and baseball state titles, and Houston Academy to a pair of softball state championships.
My brother brought me up here and put me back, and I went to the coach's office, and Coach Atkins, Coach Criddle, Coach Morris, and I told the secretary I need to see Coach Atkins. And there in the meeting, I said, I'll wait. You know, it's about a 60-mile walk back home, so, you know, you kind of wait. And I went in there, and I told him, you know, and he said, well, you know, you were here, and you left, and you didn't do this and that, which they were right. And I can remember I started crying, and I told him, I said, just, if you'll give me 1 week, I'll show you I can play. But they couldn't run me off here because it was the first time in my life I had 3 square meals and a shower. It was kind of funny. We would play at Stanford University and it was raining. And I was sitting on the sideline and I had my hoodie on, of course, and all those guys were getting dirty out there and muddy, and I was having a good time. I really didn't want to go in. There's like 3 or 4 minutes to go, and they put me in. They decided to throw, and they run a curl route, which was a little 8-10 yard route. Well, I was going to make sure the guy didn't beat me deep, so when he snapped the ball, I started backpedaling, and the quarterback overthrew the ball. And it came right to me. And it was a little wet and everything, and I put my hands up to catch it. And it went through my hands, and it lodged between my face mask, which was a single bar, and my helmet. And there it is, it stuck. I intercepted it, but really it intercepted me, and finally when I got it out, I was trying to hand it to somebody, and they were hollering, run, 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 and I ran it on down the field. The guys I played with, David Cooper, Tommy Moffitt, Frank Elmore, J.A. Williams, of course, Sam and Danny. The role they played in my life and the things that they taught me, the good things they taught me about I could be a better person, I could be a better man. The most influential person probably was, outside my teammates, was Lynn Creel and Doris Atkins. Coach Atkins' wife and Coach Creel's wife. They showed me a great deal of love. The first time I ever met John Anderson, he told me to get behind the equipment room in the Quonset huts and pass out equipment because I wasn't a football player. And I got behind and passed out the equipment, like you would with Doc. You know, whatever he said, you might as well do it. And then I got me some equipment too. The most important person of all coaches and players that's ever been an integral part of my life is a guy named John Capps from Headland. He would bring film up to Coach Atkins, and I guess they got tired of him aggravating him about that I could play. And without that guy and communicating with me, I'd either be dead or I'd be in the penitentiary right now. He made that much difference in just giving me, because like I said, I was an undisciplined, gifted athlete. But he had the faith in me to do that.
Congratulations to Ronnie Shelley on being inducted into the Hall of Fame class of 2015. Will Robert Earl Stewart please stand? No time period of Troy athletics has seen more championships than during Robert Earl Stewart's leadership. Troy's athletics director from 1974 to 1991, Stewart's tenure saw the Trojans win 10 NCAA Division II national championships, 66 conference championships, and 8 all-sports trophies. During his 17-year career, the men's golf and women's golf teams each won 3 national titles, while the football and baseball teams each won 2 national titles. Stewart was responsible for the hiring of Troy University's Sports Hall of Fame coaches Larry Blakeney, Don Maestri, Chase Riddle, Chan Gailey, and Rick Rhodes. His impact was not only felt in the athletics department, but also in the academic realm as he came to Troy from Ole Miss to start the finance major in Troy's School of Business. The Troy women's programs came under the banner of Troy Athletics in 1975 and grew into perennial contenders under Stewart's guidance. Stewart also founded TIPTAY, Troy I Pay 30 a Year, and the TSU Action Club, which was the booster wing of TIPTAY.
There's no doubt that the most influential person on my career was Dr. Ralph Adams, the president for many years here at Troy. A lot of people around Troy know the story that when I made the recommendation to Dr. Adams that we need a full-time director of athletics, and I was faculty chairman of athletics at that time, he threw it back across the desk and said, "You take it." And I said, "No." It stunned me. 2 weeks later, he called me in and asked me to take it again, and I said no again. The next 2 weeks, I had certain people tell me, "Robert Earl, when Dr. Adams makes somebody an offer, you better take heed of it." And the next time he called me into my office, it was like one of them grandfather offers. And I said yes. After talking me into being director of athletics, I went into his office one day and said, "Dr. Adams, everybody's mad at me for making this particular decision." He smiled and said, "Robert, everybody's a lot of people." I've never used that word everybody since. He also said, "Robert, if you don't realize if you hadn't got somebody mad at you, you're not making progress." The other time I went into his office, "Dr. Adams, I got a problem." "Robert Earl, I didn't hire you to bring me problems. I hired you to bring me solutions." I can't let the question go by without also mentioning Chase Riddle. Great working relationship with Chase Riddle. Don Maestri, great working relationship with Don, and John Doc Anderson. Those three have to be mentioned when the question is asked. I owe my career and my morals and my character to my parents. My dad was a man of character. He ran a service station. I grew up in a service station. He taught me how to work. I'd like to thank members of my family, my two sons, who probably, I did not spend as much time with them because of the time I spent in athletics. They're great sons. My present wife, who taught me after I got out of athletics to smell the roses and know that there's a life out there that I can enjoy. And names, I guess I want to, all the great coaches, Chan Gailey, Rick Rhodes, Joyce Sorrell, Charles Oliver, Gary Stogner, an SID that was here for many years with us, Tom Engie, our SID, did a great run. A lot of great people that I've met here at the university, and that's what's made this university so great. My greatest experience would be meeting all of the great student athletes, as evidenced by those that are on the podium tonight and those that have been put into the hall before that, and many who have not been given recognition yet, but hopefully in the future will. Athletics is not an I, athletics is a we. As you heard many times before, it's a team effort. Without good student athletes, no one is able to accomplish a record, but it takes good coaches, and it takes good administrative personnel that many people don't realize. Trainers, Chuck Ash, Doc Anderson, SIDs, people that work in the registrar's office. It takes a true team effort to put a good quality athletic program on the field.
Congratulations to Robert Earl Stewart and his family on being inducted into the Troy University Hall of Fame. Will Ward Thigpen please stand? Ward Thigpen turned in one of the best seasons in Troy baseball history in 1990 as he posted an 11-1 record with a 2.12 earned run average en route to Gulf South Pitcher of the Year and First Team All-America honors. Thigpen, a native of Greenville, Alabama, helped lead the Trojans to within one game of a trip to the NCAA Division II World Series in what turned out to be Troy University Sports Hall of Fame member Chase Riddle's final season as head coach. Thigpen struck out 107 batters during the 1990 season, including a school record 7 consecutive strikeouts against Montevallo. He finished the game with 15 strikeouts in just 7 innings of work. A member of the Troy Baseball Hall of Fame, Thigpen and the Trojans went 50-10 during the 1990 season and won a Gulf South Conference championship during his first season with the team in 1989. He currently stands 6th all-time in Troy history with 3 shutouts, while his .917 winning percentage in 1990 ranks 5th in a single season.
Coach Riddle called me. He said, well, let's go back down to the field house and talk. And I was kind of real nervous at that point because I hadn't thrown too many pitches. And I was thinking, he's going to say thanks, but, you know, not offer anything. But we got down there, and he said that he liked what he had seen and he had heard about me. He talked to Coach Hogan, and he just came out. I remember like it was yesterday. Came out and said, what would it take for you to come to Troy and play baseball with us? And I never told my parents this because they probably would have stressed out. But my honest reaction, I remember telling Coach Riddle, I said, Coach, if you'll let me play for you, I'll come for free. The best memories, of course, are just spending time on the field with friends and teammates. And then as soon as practice was over, we were going to shoot basketball. I wouldn't tell Coach Riddle or Coach Dewey's that because they're not for basketball, but or we'd go somewhere else and play stickball. So I have to start with my parents, first of all. An interesting story, my dad had he owned a pharmacy, and he had it for about 31 years, and I don't ever remember him taking Christmas Eve off. But growing up, if I had a ball game, when I got to college, he was always going to be there. And Mom, I can remember coming out to the mound, and I would see her leaving the stands. And then about the 7th, 8th, 9th inning, you know, I may see her walk back in. So I don't know that she ever saw me because she always said she was real nervous when I played. But those two especially, I couldn't have asked for any more support from the family. My 2 sisters that had to endure countless hours in the stands of a baseball field, you know, I want to thank them because they, looking back, I might have complained if I had to go to a beauty pageant or something like that. Coach Mark Hogan, junior college coach, for obviously giving me an opportunity, believing that I had some skills. Obviously, Coach Riddle was at the top of the list. I was very fortunate I got to play for him his last 2 years. So by far, he taught some great meanings of life. Like I said, he made it fun, he made it enjoyable. We got our work done. Coach Dews was his assistant. Had some great graduate assistants, Mark Smart, Scrout. So I'm real pleased at the way things are going for him. Mark Russo, Chris Small, Jude Rinaldi, they all had a big influence. And then Dr. Robert Earl Stewart was the athletic director. He made a big impression because he really supported all sports. It was nothing to see him at games. It was nothing to see him at away games. So to know that you got an athletic director that really cared about your sport was big. We've got a wonderful chapter of TSU alumni in Greenville that really support Troy in the sports. So I want to thank our Butler County alumni chapter. And I do want to comment on Michelle and our daughter Claire. I appreciate all that they do for me, but I'm not an awards type guy. I just believe that team sports are team sports, and anything that happens to an individual comes from the team. I have been blessed, and I have been blessed enough to receive some individual awards through the years from Troy. But I would trade them all in a heartbeat to have gotten Coach Riddle one more national championship, to earn the national championship for Troy University baseball program.
Congratulations to Ward Thigpen on being inducted into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame class of 2015. Freddie Thomas, please stand. From walk-on to two-time All-American, Freddie Thomas is a true success story in the history of Troy athletics. Simply known as Bootsy, Thomas earned Kodak All-America honors his junior season after recording 85 tackles, 5 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, and a blocked punt. He parlayed his outstanding junior season into an even better senior campaign, where he was named captain of the 1987 NCAA Division II National Championship squad. Thomas was a consensus All-American that season, as he finished with 85 tackles and an interception from his safety position. The Montgomery, Alabama native currently ranks 12th all-time in Troy history with 11 career interceptions, while checking in at 18th in total tackles and 20th in assisted tackles. A College Football Hall of Fame nominee, Thomas has dedicated over 25 years of his life to coaching youth sports and serving on various boards for youth sports organizations.
I'll never forget that cold playoff morning. We were practicing for the playoff, and Coach Rick Rhodes was there in 1986, and we were practicing, getting ready for a playoff, and we were about to dismiss. And he said, "Hey guys, y'all, I got something to announce." And he just read off this thing that Freddie Thomas have been selected to first team Kodak All-American. Like what's going on here? It was really a surprise, because as I said, I didn't set out to say I'm going to be an All-American. I'm going to be an all Gulf South Conference defensive back. I just love the game. One person that was extremely important to me was my mother. She is deceased now, but she was very influential on me as a person, for the simple fact that I lost my dad when I was eight years old. And I remember her, it was 7 of us, gathering all of us together, and she said, I'm not gonna marry anymore. With her and raising 7 children was very important to me. Coach Rhodes, Coach Gailey, my roommates, I had 2 good roommates, one Thomas Clark and then Johnny Buds, and then the friends that I made, Mike Turk and I, we grew up in Montgomery playing against each other. Never thought we would come to Troy and had a similar path. Mike walked on at the same time that I walked on, and Coach Jay Jeffcoat, right before he passed, he said, "Freddie, you know what? Can't many coaches say that they recruited 2 guys that walked on and then became All-Americans." Nick Severa, man, I tell you, that guy supported us all the time. Mike Amos, let me tell you, Mike Amos, I love that guy. Ted Horsted, a good friend of mine, Roger Robinson, who is like a brother of mine, that came up with the idea of let's give back. And our tailgating crew is mainly to give back in the form of scholarships. I just want to thank the Troy family for, number one, receiving me. And I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize my wife, Deborah, and our daughter, Kelsey, who nominated me for this award. And, I'm just grateful to them for thinking of me that way, along with our boys, Jalen and Jonah. When I played here, we were Division II, and we had some good runs. And I can see where the university have come from when we played to where they are now. I enjoy coming back because I say, this is the house that we built.
Congratulations to Freddie Thomas on being inducted into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2015. As a final tribute to this class of 2015, please enjoy this video presentation. Like the class of 2015 to please stand for one last round of applause. As we conclude tonight, I'd like to invite family members, friends, and former players here to the front of the stage to take pictures and visit with these inductees. I always like to close these events with the first two lines from the fight song as we close. Here's to the school we love. We are Trojans, one and all. Thank you for your attendance tonight, and we'll see you again next year.